So check this out. Around a day or two ago, it was announced that Jill Biden wants LSU and Iowa to come to the White House to visit. I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw that, I thought it was a joke. I'll tell you this straight up, I'm not a fan of that. The winner, the champion gets to go to the White House, not the loser. This isn't 7 and 8 year old Boys and Girls Club Rec League. Not everybody gets a participation trophy. I don't care. So we got a new and what I think is a very interesting situation going on with the Iowa basketball team, the LSU basketball team, and the White House. Would you label this the White House's fault or Jill Biden's fault? I don't know. Whoever you want to blame, I'm just going to say the White House. And it really doesn't matter because the controversy is involving going to the White House. So we all know what happened in the past couple of days. Iowa, they had the fan favorite, Caitlin Clark, the best player. Is she? Yeah. I believe she won the Player of the Year for women's college basketball. She's unreal. They was going up against LSU in the title game, and LSU pulled off the upset. Congratulations to LSU. That was awesome. Way to bring it back to the SEC. But we all know the big controversy happened in the fourth quarter where Angel Reese, she was taunting Caitlin Clark. And I made a video as soon as that game ended, and I said some things and worded some things the wrong way. And in yesterday's video, I apologize for that. You can go check out yesterday's video for yourself if you haven't already. To make a long story short, and I'll say it again here, I apologize for how I said things and what I said in that video about Miss Angel Reese. There's no excuses whatsoever for me to say the things I said without giving her and her team any credit whatsoever. Because just like I said in yesterday's video, the apology one, I was being a hypocrite. After rewatching the video myself, I looked like an a-hole. I really did. I made a fool of myself. There's no way to sugarcoat it, and that's all there is to it. And while I'm thinking about it, I was checking out some of the comments on yesterday's video, and I got a little bit emotional. Because there was a lot of comments where people were saying, hey Matt, you did F up, but at least you apologized and owned up to it. And the reason I got a little bit emotional is because I take this channel extremely seriously, and I take you guys, and some girls that watch, very seriously as well. I'm big on integrity and honor, and the fact that I can make such a terrible and piss poor video, and you guys can still forgive me for it and be like, hey man, you know, you did mess up, but it happens. I just greatly appreciate it. And hey, I know some people aren't going to forgive me for the way I acted in that video, and I get it 10,000%. But to the people that are looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, Matt, you overreacted and it was a terrible video, but let's try to move on from this, I appreciate you, and I'll leave it at that. There's many more things I could say. I don't want to make the video talking about that, but I just want you guys to know I greatly appreciate all the kind words. It really does mean a lot. There's certain ways to do things. There's certain ways to talk about things. I should have said, hey, Angel Reese and LSU, congratulations. Give them all the credit. Say, Angel Reese, she played a good game. She's one of the best players in the country. Yeah, she did talk a little trash here and there, but she won. She earned the right to do that. I could have easily congratulated her and still at the end said, yeah, maybe I didn't necessarily like her taunting Caitlin Clark for however long it was, 10 to 15 seconds at the end of the game. But even I've done that same stuff as a former competitor. And I'm going to assume 99% of the people a part of our community, you either A, play sports, or B, you played a sport in your life. I say that to say this. We've all taken it too far before. I mean, heck, if we're playing ping pong, cornhole, or golf, and I beat you, I'm going to taunt you in that. We've all been there where we've won in something and we overreacted, especially when we weren't supposed to win. Remember that Angel Reese, they were the underdogs. Yet again, I will stand 10 toes down on this. Was it, and I think we can all agree on this, was it slightly excessive following around Caitlin Clark for the last 15 seconds of the game? I think most people would say, hey, maybe it was a little bit too much, but who cares? She won the game, and I agree. And recently, Caitlin Clark even came out and stated that it didn't bother her whatsoever, so it goes back to this. I overreacted, and I think many other people are overreacting to all of this as well. I also think other people are overreacting to this and blowing it out of proportion, including myself at the time, this is new territory. We don't see women taunting other women in sports. It doesn't happen. I'm very curious about that. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think maybe that's why this is causing up the big storm it is? I definitely think that has a play into it, but check this out. Caitlin Clark had to say this about Angel Reese. Quote unquote, she should never be criticized for what she did. I'm just one that competes, and she competed. I'm a big fan of hers. Going back to this, if you ever played basketball, this is normal basketball behavior. This happens in AAU. It happens at every single high school game. For example, I had case and scenarios where I'd be going neck and neck, bucket for bucket with the other team's best player, talking mad trash, even getting double technicals, and after the game, it's all love. That's just how basketball is. When you step on that court, there's no friends. It's all game. It's all competition. After the game, you can show love and respect, but during the game, you really don't see that all all the time. I know I'm all sidetracked and all over the place. There's just so much that's gone on in this situation in the past 24 to 48 hours. Let's get on to the main topic of the main encore, what I really want to get down to, and that is this whole White House controversy. So check this out. Around a day or two ago, it was announced that Jill Biden wants LSU and Iowa to come to the White House to visit. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw that, I thought it was a joke. I'll tell you this straight up, I'm not a fan of that. The winner, the champion gets to go to the White House, not the loser. This isn't 7 and 8 year old Boys and Girls Club rec league. Not everybody gets a participation trophy. I don't care. Okay. Let me calm down. Here's what Jill Biden had to say, quote unquote. I know we'll have the champion come to the White House. We always do. So we hope LSU will come. But, I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too because they played such a good game. Oh, yes, that's great. It just goes to prove and show how soft and how messed up society is in 2023. I don't know what's going on with this generation. We got 45 different genders. This is not what this channel is about. I don't want to dive into all of that. Y'all know what's going on in the world. It's just a weird time to be alive. We live in a society where they want to tell you you're depressed and diagnose you with depression so you don't get up and go to the gym and get big and strong and strive for all the goals you want to accomplish in your life. I'm not saying depression isn't real, but I gotta be honest, I don't believe in it. And this is coming from a person, I'll give y'all some inside information on me. I've been very, and I mean very sad in my life at certain points. I've had a lot of bad things and unfortunate circumstances happen to me, and maybe one day I'll get to share my story with y'all. But for now, I tell you this, every single time something bad happened to me where I was really sad and I don't want to leave my house or room for a couple of days or weeks, I never once told myself I was depressed. You know what I told myself? I said, Matt, you're really sad. This sucks, but time will heal. I always told myself, give it a week, start going to the gym. The gym is the best therapy out there, and I believe that. Whenever you're dealing with something sad or something bad in your life, go to the gym, hang out with some friends. The key to getting over quote-unquote sadness or depression, whatever you want to label it, is staying busy. My granddad told me this and it sticks with me. He said when he was growing up, he wasn't rich enough to be depressed. Whoa, hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, what did he mean by that? And I asked him the same thing. And what he meant by that was him and his family was so poor growing up, he was working every waking second of the day. Therefore, he didn't have time to sit on his couch or bed and go, oh man, I'm kind of sad. That's a great point. When you're working or doing stuff all the time, you don't have time to sit there and go, oh man, I'm really depressed. But society in 2023, they want everybody to be weak-minded so they can control you. Now, I will say this, although I don't believe in depression, I'm not saying it's not a real thing, and I'm not saying you don't gotta believe in it either. I'm just saying I don't. A great example I can use, and I tell my friends this, is the same thing with ghosts. Some people believe in ghosts, some people don't. Theoretically speaking, if you put me and you in a room and I believe in ghosts and you don't, here's a great example. If I believe in ghosts and I'm in a room and I hear a door creak, I'm going to immediately think, oh man, it's a ghost. But if you're in the room and you hear a door creak and you don't believe in ghosts, you're going to be optimistic and go, oh, it must be windy or the house must be old or something else. You don't believe in ghosts, so you're not going to chalk it up to that. That's how depression is for me. I don't believe in depression. I believe in being sad, but I don't believe in depression. Anyways, I apologize for the long rant. Getting back on track here with society being weak-minded. Now we want to give out participation trophies. Angel Reese wound up quote tweeting this and saying, a joke. Yeah, it is a joke. There's nothing more to say about it. And even Caitlin Clark herself has came out and said, yeah, the runner-ups normally don't go to the White House, so we shouldn't. And honestly, no loser of the national championship game even wants to go to the White House. It's almost embarrassing. I don't think anybody a part of that Iowa team would want to go to the White House. But that's besides the point. If they want to or not, they shouldn't have even got an invite. The only thing I've seen some people say, and I don't want to talk about this too long because it's not what this channel is about, is because some people think race has to do with it because Iowa is mostly an all-white team and LSU is mostly an all-black team. So I saw people trying to insinuate that Jill Biden and the White House are doing this because it will look good for the country. I mean, I don't know about all of that. I really don't have an opinion on it. I don't think it'd make the country look better if Iowa went to the White House. That's how I feel about it. I just don't like the fact that they invited Iowa because now it has pissed off Angel Reese and LSU and they're like, oh yeah, we're not going. And to be 100% honest, if I was in LSU shoes, I wouldn't want to go either. Because to a certain degree, I would look at it as a standpoint of, hey, it's disrespectful that you also invited the runner-up, so in response to that, we ain't showing up. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. But